What should applicants start doing? What should applicants start doing?
They should connect to the right source when it comes to the scholarship base.
So what should applicants stop doing?
They should stop just dreaming and start putting together the right documents necessary for the applications.
All right, I think on that note, we have been able to touch on vital areas of what it requires for you to apply for full scholarship. I've been joined by very amazing people from Study Across Globe. That is Mrs. Olajumoke Makonyola. Thank you so much for coming to Opportunity Radio TV. I hope next time we'll invite you. You'll be more than willing to join us. And also by King David, the IT of Study Across Globe. Thank you so much for coming to Opportunity Radio TV. Until next edition of Opportunity Radio TV, I remain yours sincerely, Daniel Oweyemi. Ensure that when you see opportunities, you grab it not only with one hand, with two hands, because the major difference between the rich and the poor is just about opportunities that they hear of and they take advantage of timely. Thank you so much, executive producer and everyone behind the camera, and we hope that next time you will join us. Thank you, and keep watching TV West. Have a great day. Bye.
Seizures and what happens to those that have been identified to be associated with the seizure. The service has reinforced its core mandate of protecting our national borders through targeted anti-smuggling operations and precise intelligence-driven interventions. Our track record intercepting illegal arms and ammunition underscores our frontline role in the maintenance of national security. The handover ceremony that we're about to witness exemplifies our active collaboration with stakeholders in ridding our society of illicit weapons and strengthening public safety. Let us recall the event of May 2018, when the service intercepted significant cache of arms, including that of 440 pump-action rifles and accessories ingeniously concealed within 516 bags of plaster of Paris cement in 120-footer container with the number PONU 210024/1. And if you can just look across, you will see the container just behind here. This particular gray container. The seizure of this container coincided with heightened security challenges from armed bandits in Northwest and illegal arms proliferations in the Southeast, revealing the linkage between some transnational smuggling networks and our domestic security challenges. Through sustained intelligence operations, later in that year, we also intercepted 2 additional containers, CMAU 189817/8 and GESU 255208/1 at Tinkan Highland Port. And these containers also concealing arms and ammunition, amongst others. Therefore, today we will be handing over a total of 1,599 assorted arms, and 2,298 live cartridges recovered from these operations. But I'm going to talk to you first about this particular container that is here. Following this particular seizure, we deployed forensic capacities to conduct detailed electronic analysis of customs documentation and shipping records. Through established diplomatic channels, we partnered with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage the authorities in Turkey, leading to definitive identification of the purchasing company. The investigation trail, which was supported by financial records obtained through court orders in Nigeria, enabled us to establish the identities of those behind these illegal arms shipments. And through our strategic interagency cooperations, particularly with the assistance of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, we successfully prosecuted the case, and the suit number was FHC/L/339C/208 before the Federal High Court in Lagos. The defendants in the case were Great James Oil and Gas Limited, Ifeoluwa Moses Christ, and Emeka Yume Festus, also known as Amankwa. All of them were convicted on 8-count charges bordering on improper importation. The prosecution successes reinforces the service's zero-tolerance stance against armed trafficking, and it validates the effectiveness and of our judicial collaboration. The proven investigative and prosecutorial approach is currently being applied to recent seizures at the port of Onne, where ongoing investigations continue to yield significant progress within established legal frameworks. And regarding the other ones, those in the 2 other containers, prosecutions is currently going on in the law courts. I can also tell you that we are making progress, and as we hand over these exhibits to the National Center today, we are also going to be handing over the prosecution of the case to the center. Our strategy, combining thorough investigation, decisive prosecution, and successful conviction, has proven effective in dismantling smuggling networks. Let me therefore be clear that we will spare no resource in hunting down, exposing, and prosecuting anyone who attempts to compromise our national security through arms trafficking. We stand ready to deploy our full arsenal of intelligence and enforcement capabilities to protect legitimate trade as we ensure Nigeria's security interests remain paramount. I want to salute the professionalism and courage of our officers who worked tirelessly, often in very challenging circumstances, to make these seizures. In addition to those that were made in the ports, some of these seizures were also made by federal operations units in some distant locations in the bushes around our border stations. I commend their effort. More importantly, I also want to commend the effort of the forensic unit of Nigeria Customs Service for their doggedness, for their determination, and high level of professionalism that was exhibited to follow through this particular case and secure conviction. To our partner agencies who have stood shoulder to shoulder with us in this fight, we want to acknowledge their support, and this support has been very instrumental to achieve what we are doing today. Together, we promise that we will continue to build formidable partnerships and create barriers against those who threaten our national security. Let me conclude on the note that the handover of these weapons to the center today symbolizes our commitment to proper disposal of seized arms and highlights our resolve to rid our nations of illegal weapons. We want to thank most sincerely the National Security Advisor that has availed us of the opportunity of working with the National Coordinator and his diligent team at the center. For diligent investigation and prosecution of those that are involved in this heinous crime. Once again, I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Honor and the privilege to once again welcome you to this significant ceremony. I speak today in a dual capacity as the Director General of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons and as the representative of the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. I wish to begin by sincerely appreciating the synergy between the National Center, Office of the National Security Advisor, and the 16 government arms-bearing agencies, particularly the Nigeria Customs Service, whose steadfast determination is key to our collective fight against the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons. I recall with pride the notable arms bust of July 2024, when the Nigerian Customs Service intercepted 844 rifles and 112,500 rounds of live ammunition at Onne Port, Port Harcourt. The recovered weapons were promptly handed over to the National Center, and importantly, suspects, including the principal suspect, Ali Samson Ofuma, along with 9 accomplices, were subsequently arrested in Abuja and are now facing prosecution. Their apprehension underscores the critical role of our coordinated efforts and reinforces why it is imperative for agencies to continue channeling intercepted arms to the center. Regarding today's handover of intercepted illicit arms by the Nigerian Customs Service, the National Center will take all necessary measures in line with relevant conventions and best practices to permanently remove these weapons from circulation. Since its establishment on the 3rd of May 2021, the National Center has spearheaded multi-stakeholder initiatives to curb the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons. We have engaged with ministries, security agencies, international partners, and civil society organizations alike to advance our mission of building a safer, more secure Nigeria and West Africa. Notably, within a short period after assuming office, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, signed the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Act 2024 into law on 4th June 2024. This swift legislative action underscores the President's unwavering commitment to ensuring peace and tranquility in Nigeria and demonstrates the premium he places on national security for all Nigerians. I would also like to emphasize that the Center's mandate extends far beyond merely receiving illegally acquired arms. As the leading organization for controlling the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons in Nigeria, the National Center implements and supervises strategies and policies, collaborates with law enforcement and international bodies, including ECOWAS, the AU, and the UN. manages a national database of weapons, and secures recovered arms. Additionally, the center serves as the custodian of other categories of weapons, including obsolete stockpiles held by various arms-bearing agencies, which, no longer serving any professional purpose, must be removed from armories to eliminate potential security risks in accordance with international best practices and relevant treaties. By effectively managing the entire life cycle of small arms and light weapons, from registration and tracking to seizure and destruction, the center actively strengthens our collective security and aligns with global efforts to combat the illicit trade in arms. The National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, has been steadfast in his commitment to our national security, providing the necessary support and enabling environment for the center to perform its core functions, thereby mitigating threats such as terrorism, kidnapping, banditry, pipeline vandalism, armed robbery, and all the challenges to our national peace and stability. The National Center remains grateful. Let me also extend my profound appreciations to the Controller General of Customs, Dr. Bashir Adewale Adedi MFR, who is indeed a patriotic Nigerian and who has become a true friend of the center. His alliance and open door approach to the National Center have greatly facilitated our collective efforts, enabling us to achieve significant milestones. I wish to convey the NSA's commendation to all officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service for their loyalty and tireless efforts, which have led to achieving these critical interceptions. I also wish to appreciate the leadership of all other arms-bearing and security agencies for their dedicated cooperation as we continue to press forward. As we mark yet another milestone in our relentless fight against illicit small arms and light weapons, I urge all stakeholders to remain vigilant and continue our collaborative efforts. Together, in our unified commitment, we can ensure that Nigeria remains resilient against the scourge of unlawful weaponry and that our communities are safeguarded for future generations. Thank you all for your presence and support. May God bless Nigeria.
Like I've explained, there are some of these ones that are already concluded. The case of the container is concluded. These ones are still undergoing court processes, but we are going to sort out the documentation, but physically we will hand over everything that we have to the center for more action. In the interest of national security and effective investigation of these cases, I want to hand over to Monica. Let's write no bullet inside. Devil can't be bullet inside.
Five. Foto.
How are you, sir? Good morning. How are you? General. How are you? Good morning. How are you, sir? How are you? How are you, sir? Yes. Nice to see you. I think we spoke sometimes when we were trying to get cloud. Thank you very much. Okay. Agitating the mind.
Wọ́n ti ṣe ní Ẹ̀pẹ́ rí, wọ́n ti ṣe ní Ìkòròdú, Island ò níye, àwọn Ìkẹjà náà ti ṣe division 5 la ní ìbílẹ̀ 5 kí ló ṣe bí àwa ló kàn.